I throw the towel back over myself, turn a kids' movie on in my bedroom, make her wash her hands thoroughly, then have her sit on my bed. I've been to South Korea, heard the language, and I'm confident that's what she speaks. There's no subtitle for Korean on my DVR, but the movie will keep her occupied. I go to the bathroom, flip the light on, and see in the mirror Cordell's blood on my lips. It looks like lipstick. How the hell? I must have had blood on my index finger when I shushed the girl to be quiet. I hope to God the awestruck look on the cops' faces were from my curves and not Cordell's blood smeared across my lips. I shake my jeans to drop my keys and phone from the pocket onto the floor. I take my soiled clothes to the trash and throw them away. The girl is now lying on a pillow watching the movie. I give a flick at this point, standing in the hot shower, where Lexi and Ian are. I want the girl gone, but I'm removing any traces of blood, soaped, scrubbed, and rinsed off me. Outside the shower, I see my phone lit. Who would be texting me now? I shove my robe on. I check my mobile, and it's my Foot client. He's bombarded it with texts. I read the ones he sent and see he called 4 times. I forgot to tell him I made it home safely. The girl's asleep on my bed, so I call him back. I can't protect you at all, he says anxiously. I don't need a bodyguard. I was trying to stay calm when you didn't respond. Are you home? Yes, I am. Were you followed? No, but I came home to a grisly event. Is that Grizzly or Grisly? At least I know I'm getting back to normal with these words scrolling in my head. I wanted to stay with you tonight. I should have. You wanted to stay with me? I like his sexy male voice. Yeah, I sure did, I coo. I love you, and I don't even know your name. We think alike. I cover Sungim with a blanket and go to the kitchen for water. I tell him the whole story. He's smart and suggests I don't jump to conclusions, no matter how strange it is. I spend the better part of an hour talking to him about who I really am. Nothing too deep. I talk mostly about my lovely sister. He's sad with me about Susan's death. He shares the bombing of the hotel that took his family's lives and almost took his. A holiday in Malta some 5 years ago. He's a rich brat, too. It explains the mansion where I first met him. It stood empty since his family's death while he recovered and tried to find his way. It was his family home where he'd been raised. He was only 26 when he lost them. He had just completed his master's degree. We talked to each other until after 2 o'clock, and someone's at my door. I'm not scared with him on the phone. I look through the peephole and can barely see the tops of Ian and Lexi's heads. The cops have cleared out and Cordell's door is secured. I reassure him that I'll call him back. He wants to stay on the phone with me. The battery's almost dead. I plug it in, put it on speaker, and answer the door. Where's Sungim? Ian pushes through with Lexi. I'm not answering that until I know what Cordell's doing with this kid, I say with force and shut the door. Can we sit down? Ian asks and heads to my couch. Lexi and I walk to my sparse furniture and take a seat. So, is Sungim a sex slave? Are you two in on this? They could be with all the noise from their sexual escapades. Their eyes bulge. Cordell is a liaison for Saab. S-A-B. Sick-ass bastards? I snidely surmise. Safe across the border, Lexi says. It's an international non-profit organization. I'm listening as Ian eagerly continues. Saab brings dissidents from oppressive nations to neutral countries to get them out into better lives. Sungim and her family are North Korean. Lexi, like her husband, is prompt to answer openly. I take a slow lean back into my chair. What happened tonight? I have a right to know. There are powerful forces working to get these people back to their nation of origin. The North Koreans take great interest in efforts to retrieve anyone who has defected. Cordell's place is only a temporary stop for many of these persons. I was wrong about him being a drug dealer? I freely state. That's incredibly prejudiced, Lexi snips at me. What did you think about us? We work for the circus? He asks me with disgust. I'd never seen either of you before tonight. They're both less tense at me. I've only heard your fights and fucks that follow. I don't think they appreciate my vile language, but a very big pride for themselves is seen about their reproductive activities. What made you deduce Dell to be a drug dealer? Lexi asks, less agitated. The people coming in, going from his apartment late at night. That makes sense. What did you tell the cops? That we came home, noticed Dell's door open, and we went in to take care of him. Is Cordell alive? I forgot to ask earlier. Yes, he's stable. Who stabbed him? The men working for the North Korean government, most likely. Why hide the girl if it's all legitimate? It's a blurry, fine line, Lexi answers. She stands up from my couch. We've got to go. Will you get Sungim? Do you two work for Saab with Cordell? No, I'm an accountant and Lexi tutors high school students. We believe strongly in the work he does, so we help when we can. Who lives in the apartment between you and Cordell? They shift their eyes at each other. Nobody, they flatly answer. Where's Sungim? Lexi asks again. I go wake the girl up, give her a nice hug, and she leaves with them. I'm at the peephole watching. They take her into their apartment. I wonder strongly if they are hiding people in the empty apartment. They don't know me from Eve, so it wouldn't be safe to be entirely honest with me. I never divulge the complete truth to anyone. I go to my cell phone. Did you hear all of that? Every last word. My ass is always in a sling. Get it over here and it'll be in my hands. I'm not going to get any sleep tonight. I sit up in his bed with flashbacks. The front door sounds like it's being rattled off its hinges like last night. Why would the cops be here at my Foot client's house? I groggily wonder. He's at the window, beautifully naked and looking outside. Who is it? I can't see. He puts his jeans on his long legs. The car that's been following you is here. Don't go to the door. I'm panicky. Doesn't sound like they're going to go away. His gorgeous lips curve upward. He tosses a t-shirt over his head. You stay here. He sits down on the side of his bed and shoves his feet into socks. Who's going to protect you? I've survived a bomb blast, he boldly states. I crawl over to him and throw my arms around him. Don't put your clothes back on. I'll be back in a minute. I stand from the bed. I'm scared. I'm not. He stands confidently to his feet. Do you have a gun? I ask seriously. He grins calmly at me. Spell impetuous, and plants my mouth with his. He grabs my bare butt firmly, then turns and leaves. I throw his shirt on and scoot down the hall. I stop in the hallway out of sight, press against the wall, and listen. His diplomatic voice is very persuasive. What business do you have with her? That's none of your business, the man jeers. You've made it my business coming to my front door. I'm here to talk to her, not you. She has no interest in talking to you. Why don't we ask her? I don't need to. This could go on all day. Come on, cut a guy a break. The man's slimy voice tries a different approach. Like I said, name, rank, serial number. Okay, her dad hired me to find her. Shit. Dad has endless resources to throw at any obsession. The women he had flings with were always doused with the finest things. It's been years since I've seen Dad. Why is he looking for me now? Her parents want to see her. He tries to be nice. Mom and Dad are still together. I don't think you know anything about this broad. He's nasty again. Turn around, get back in your car, or I'll do it for you. The little bitch owes them. Get off my property. This guy must have been looking a long time for me. Dad never spoke poorly to anyone about his family. It was all part of the pretentious show. This guy's anger is his own. It's quiet. I peek around the corner and the man is gone. My foot client stands watching him leave. I flatten myself against the wall. I feel sick. The past never escapes. I didn't think I'd ever be found. I didn't leave a trace. What are you doing? He rounds the corner and smiles. Huh? I shiver. You scared me. He puts his hands on the wall and hovers me. He wasn't expecting me to be standing here. He knows nothing about me. The look on his face tells me he wants to. I slip my hand up his shirt and touch his groovy back. It's different having you defend me, I tell him. You're dressed. How long's it been since you had sex? Last night. Before that. He picks me up. Long enough. Under average circumstances, a man who hasn't had sex in a long time is short to perform. He isn't. There's a thoughtfulness behind his movements with me. He says things a woman wants to hear, not empty words to make her give more. His attention isn't to satisfy his needs alone. I don't feel like trash on top of him, and I stop and start to tremble. He asks if I'd rather wait. I tell him no. He takes his hands firmly on my waist and helps me move. We kiss more afterwards than we did before sex. It seems endless. Where are you going? He asks from the bed. To take a shower. When I'm dry, I dress in a clean shirt of his. It smells fresh and clean. I find a pair of his boxers in the drawer and put them on. I look carefully at the one picture of his family on top of his dresser. Their smiles seem honest, not faked for a posed picture. I sit on the side of his bed and look at him sleeping. I have no real means to stick it out for a lifetime with anyone. I think that's what he wants. I need to leave while he's lying here asleep. I don't owe him anything. I am broken because I've broken so many hearts. Reckless. That's easy to spell. Men in general are confused by the modern female. I've done it to many men. It wasn't that long ago women feared the men would leave. If they wanted to get married, think with their own minds, be educated toward a career, and God forbid they got pregnant, the man might have left. Some women still fear being abandoned, but women have turned the tables on men. The liberation left women autonomous from men. My using men isn't some form of independence, but done with a deep-seated malice. Women shouldn't have had to burn anything to gain equality. It should have been rightfully given. I have no respect for men. How does that make me liberated? I'm my own person, always have been, but it's taught me nothing of how to love a man. My go-with-the-flow life is fractured. I can make my own living, but I have no peace. Men are men, different from women for a reason. I hate that my mind asks broader questions and searches for global answers, looking at him. He's a man who's been wounded, not only in his body, but at every level. His heart will be buried if I leave and never see him again. Mine would get over it. I've had no plans for years, but he makes me think differently. It mildly pisses me off. I won't stay here just to make his world okay. I think about Dad. He was my only male example. His affairs were senseless. He wouldn't leave Mom or want her not to be his wife. A divorce would have appeared as a failure. He was greedy and found in other women what Mom wouldn't give. Sex, mostly. I wonder if Dad has any love for her. I guess I'm of the same stock as my father.